Hello, my dear sister. Today we are talking about the real reason why you are overworking, even if you have a team, and how to let go of the overwhelming need to control everything in your business. I say this because I know I've been there. This episode is for you if you are still too involved in the day-to-day operations of your business and you don't know how to let go. So I could tell you story upon story from my own business and my own life of feeling like I can't let anything get out the door until I look at it. And there are some things in my business where this still happens because there's some areas that do need me. But I have met literally in my work thousands of women who cannot get out of the day to day of their business and grow it and scale it to exponential new heights because they are continually pulled back by team, weighed down by clients, and just involved in too many things. For example, I want to share the story of a woman I just talked to who has hired lots of people but is still involved in almost every single aspect of her business. She's constantly pulled back into the minutia. And when it comes to looking to grow her business, to replace herself, she can't even find the time to do that because she's so mired in the details. What I want to share with you today is the root of the problem of why you're still overworking, even though you're surrounded with presumably good people, is not that you're working too hard. It's because you might not have the right systems, the right boundaries, or the right leadership mindset in place to be able to step out from the day to day. So today we're going to talk about how to set boundaries around your time, how to set up the right systems and team, and how to shift your business so that it doesn't require you for absolutely everything. And that's when you're going to get your freedom back and scale. So let's dive deeper into why you're still overworking, even though you may have hired a team and you may have some systems in place. First and foremost, you have set yourself up as the bottleneck, and it may be circumstantial, but it could also be a mindset that you have to touch every single thing, whether it's marketing or operations or client delivery, finances, legal, everything before it can get out the door. And while I honor that because like me, you're probably a control enthusiast. I don't like the word control freak, right? But somebody who wants everything to work out well. And part of that is you want to get your eyes on it. But it's not sustainable if you are truly interested in getting out of the overwhelm and go to seven figures and beyond. The second issue is that there may be not enough delegation systems in place. You may be delegating some things, but the delegation systems need to be there so that they don't require you for everything. The reason that's important is that your team cannot make decisions without you and cannot send things out the door or take care of things for you if there aren't systems to follow where they feel clear about what to do without asking you. We need to have those checklists in place, those operations clearly documented so that they are clear on their responsibilities and they don't have to check on you to make decisions. The third thing is that clients probably still expect you to do everything for them or with them. And if we're being honest, it's probably because you haven't trained your team enough to take over, which means there are no boundaries around your time and everybody depends on you. There are simply not enough boundaries set around your availability. Let's talk also about scope creep. This idea that you've promised a certain amount of time or availability to your clients, and yet you're still in reactive mode. Without defined deliverables and processes, client expectations keep expanding. You are more and more involved as time goes on. And I believe that it comes down to you not having defined your role as CEO or visionary entrepreneur who is at the helm of your company as opposed to doing everything yourself. You're still operating like a worker bee or an employee, not a visionary leader. So, what's the cost of being too involved in your business? Because while it feels tiring, you could probably see yourself doing it for a few years, but it's not really sustainable, is it? What happens when you're still so involved is you're going to experience slower business growth. If you're still stuck in the operations, in the delivery, in the day to day, every decision, you're not going to be focused on revenue growth and expansion. I mean, think about it. There are only just a few hours in each day. And if, let's say, 3 or 4 hours are on operations or working with the team or trying to get marketing out the door or deliver things to your clients, how are you going to have any time to be really strategic about exponential growth or working on things that will have you increase your reach, increase your impact, create new programs? There just isn't time for that during the day when you're still so involved in putting out fires and doing things for other people, other than growing your business. Team dependency on you is going to create burnout. In the beginning, when you have more time than money or more time than clients, you did everything yourself. You were involved in everything. And that was appropriate at the time. But if your team today still depends on you for everything, you're never going to get out of the weeds of your business. And that's going to affect your growth. It probably also means that clients are taking up way too much of your time. Now, yes, in the beginning, if you're like me, it was just you working with individual clients and you took care of all their needs. But at this point in your business, if you want to scale 2 times, 5 times, 10 times while taking a lot of vacation and getting your freedom back, things are going to have to change. If clients have too much access to you, there are going to be too many interruptions and growing while unrealistic demands. I'll give you an example. I work with a lot of women who are overwhelmed at 6 figures, who dream of 7 figures, and yet they're still receiving text messages and phone calls on their cell phone from clients. And sometimes it's ridiculous, frankly. It's like 10 p.m. and the client is expecting an answer. Or a client sends a really long email and you feel that you need to respond to it even though it's not part of your agreement. That's unsustainable and it's not going to help you grow or get your freedom back. So we need to get that in check. All of this boils down to that you have no time for strategic thinking. When I work with our clients in Bold Heart, I tell them when you are at 6 figures or even 7 figures, you have to stop doing everything. And your most important job is to think. If you're too busy managing, if you're too busy helping the team, if you're too busy working with clients with unrealistic or growing demands and not getting paid for it, there is no way that you are going to step back and lead your business to its next big level. And there's also no way that you're going to have more time off, including getting your weekends, your evenings, and your vacations back. The good news is we can change this. Here's how to step out of the weeds and into the visionary leader role. First, it's important to define your role as visionary leader or CEO, whatever you want to call yourself. Ask yourself, what should I be focused on? And in my opinion and experience, it's really coming down to 4 things. Number 1, high level strategy. That thinking time, reading time, working with a mentor, getting really clear on where you want to be in 3 to 5 years, and then reverse engineering that. Number 2, high level client acquisition. Doing the things that will increase your reach and increase your client base. Number 3, leadership, creating a culture and a way of being in your business and leading your team to create results for you instead of you doing it yourself. And number 4, Vision, having a super clear vision and getting everybody on your team on the bus towards that big vision. So that's what you should be focused on. Now let's talk about the things that you shouldn't be focused on. I don't believe that at this stage of your business, you should be involved in day-to-day operations. Definitely not scheduling and event planning and the minutia of a launch or anything that happens in your business. Definitely not micromanaging your team. You shouldn't be involved in customer service, anything administrative, and even some delivery and client work. You can be replaced in all or most of these. Once you define your role as CEO or visionary leader, it's time to systematize and document your processes. This is what we teach you at Bold Heart. You know deep down that you do need to build some SOPs or some documented processes. So things don't always need your input, but you may not know how to do it. The thing is, until you do this, you will still be involved in absolutely everything. Once you document these processes, it's important to assign them to people who will be able to take them and do them for you instead of you doing it yourself. And surround yourself with people who can make decisions for you that you can trust. And then it's about empowering your team to take the lead. The way your business is probably set up right now is that everyone's looking for your approval. So it's what we would call an approval-based management style, where people get ideas or you've delegated something to them, but they have to come to you for final approval on everything. And while at one point in your business, that was okay, and things will still require some of your approval, there are ways that you can set up systems and leadership so you are not doing it for absolutely everything in your business. Now think about it. In the beginning, there wasn't much complexity, so approving a thing here or there didn't really matter and didn't take up much of your time. But at this stage of your business, it's massively important that you set up some systems so that there is trust-based delegation. So one of the things that we teach you how to do is to set up some clear delegation channels and reporting structures. So you only hear about important issues, not every issue. And then we set up team meetings on a weekly basis so that you are informed and you can solve problems with your team without getting pulled into everything all the time. No more daily fires to put out. I know it may seem like a far stretch from what you're experiencing right now, but this is something that we've set up for thousands of people over the years. And if you can just follow the breadcrumbs step by step, you too can set these things up and it changes everything. Next, we look at setting some boundaries with your existing clients to prevent scope creep. How we do that is we redefine client expectations. So the thing I want you to think about is communicating what's acceptable and what's not acceptable with your clients. And communicate clearly who is their main point of contact on a day-to-day basis. Hint, it's not you. It's also important to set realistic response times. And then the hardest part is for you to stick to those. One of the ways that you can do that is to lovingly communicate with clients and customers that unless it's urgent, they should not expect an immediate answer. There are ways to say this in a way that are not off-putting. Then we prevent scope creep with clear agreements. In the beginning, I didn't have airtight contracts and agreements with my clients, and I found myself being taken advantage of all the time. And maybe you know exactly what I mean. If the deliverables aren't clear, there aren't going to be boundaries around revisions or requests, and that's just going to keep taking up your time. I understand that you want to do a great job with your clients. Especially as women, we want to please our clients. But there is a way that people pleasing can then turn into servitude. And servitude is obligation, and obligation means you're putting the needs of others before your own. And before your very eyes, what was maybe a 5-hour, a week, or a month agreement turns into something much, much longer. If clients are asking for additional things that are not included in your scope or your agreement, you can politely redirect that request. And the way to do that is just to say, it sounds like you want additional work that's outside of our agreement or scope of work. We can absolutely work on it. Let me add it to our agreement for an additional fee. And I get that at the beginning, you're going to feel really strange about this, but this is a muscle we need to flex. I want to share with you why. You are not meant to work with 10 or 20 clients or the number of clients you have now. If you are doing important work in the world, if your work is changing lives or you want to increase your reach or your impact, you have to understand that the more you people please or allow clients to scope creep, the fewer clients you can work with and the smaller impact you can make through your business. One of the easy ways to set these boundaries is to automate and preset your communication boundaries. So you can use autoresponders and scheduling tools to create structure in how and when clients can reach you. And you can train your team to handle client questions without you being there and only escalate to you what truly matters and requires your expertise. If what we're talking about now is resonating with you and you're realizing something has to change, I want you to know there is a proven path forward. It's all inside my book, The Leveraged Business. This is where we start. Inside the book, I lay out the exact steps to scale your business to multiple 6 figures and even multiple 7 figures without burning out or doing it all yourself. You'll learn the systems, the structure, and the mindset required to create more income, more impact, and more freedom in your business and in your life. So if you're ready to get out of the weeds and into the role of true CEO or visionary leader of your business, the book is your roadmap. When you want support applying these strategies to your unique business and releasing the subconscious blocks that are probably still getting in the way, let's talk. You can book a free exploratory strategy call and discovery call at boldheart.com. We'll explore what's possible for you together. Now back to the episode. One of the big things I talk about in my book, The Leveraged Business, in chapter 3, Leverage Your Time, is to create boundaries around your time. Now, before we talk more about it, I have had the privilege of working with tens of thousands of women, and I have noticed over all these years that we women are raised and rewarded and praised and reared to put the needs of others before our own, and that we are valuable when we overgive to our families, to our friends, to our community, to our clients. And so we've essentially been taught by our society that we are valuable when we overgive, when we give away our time. But that won't help you scale your business to its next big level. Let's be honest. When people overtake your time, you're resentful, yeah? They know what they're doing, and you're allowing them to do it. So we've got to change that. The first thing I'd like to invite you to do is take some days, CEO days, or what we call at Bold Heart EGA days, exponential growth activity days, where you work on the growth of your business and nothing else. This is one of the cornerstones of how we teach our members at Bold Heart to leverage their time. So this is about blocking a day a week, for example, to work on high-level strategy with yourself or perhaps another team member, and just focusing on the activities that will bring business growth. This is about buying back your time and just focusing it on you and your thinking time. You can set office hours with your team. You can set up daily huddles at the beginning of the day to answer all of their questions, make sure that they're prioritizing the right things, help them with any fires that need to be put out, doing this early in the day so you can have the rest of your day to really focus on what matters most. Carve out some time in your day to stop answering Slack, not check email, and certainly not text from outside of your work hours. This is about owning your schedule like a CEO would. This is where you pre-plan how you're going to take time off, when you're going to take time off, and schedule you first and then the business. And that includes vacations. So one of the secrets that we have here at Boldheart is that at the beginning of the year, you schedule all of your vacations in your calendar. And you can even book your vacations, your flights, your hotel. And that's when you're going to actually go and do it. And everything else around the business will fall in between your vacations or your EGA days. And then train your team to operate the business without you being available 24/7. Again, from where you're sitting, you might be thinking, this is not for me. I can't do this, not in my business, not in my industry, not in my situation. But yes, I have seen this happen with thousands of women, and you can do it too, even if right now it doesn't seem like it's a reality. Even if right now it doesn't seem like it could be a reality. It can, it will. You just need the right guidance. So why do all this? What are the results of you doing all of this? This is what happens when you let go of this tight white knuckle grip control in your business. First, your team steps up and performs better. You see, when you stop micromanaging, they start to trust themselves more and they become more capable. They start thinking for themselves, being more autonomous because they're following systems and checklists, and they know that they have access to you at the beginning of the day every day and that they can make decisions and that you trust them. You will see they will blossom when you have the right team members in place and you follow this formula. They step up, which means that you reclaim your time and your energy. When you're not putting out fires, when you're not involved in every decision, when you've set boundaries with your clients, you get back your time. You stop working late nights, on weekends to catch up, and when you go on vacation, you don't have to be available to your team or your clients. You can even leave your laptop at home. No more answering messages at all hours of the day or night. And that's when your business actually grows faster. You finally have time to focus on exponential growth and money generating activities and writing that book or creating your own podcast or launching that new program, all of the things that are not possible right now because you are maxed out. It also means more freedom, more peace of mind, and you can unplug without fearing that everything will fall apart. This might be a departure from what you're used to, but this is the process of creating a self-managing business through the concept of leverage. Leveraging your team, leveraging your time, leveraging your systems, all so that you can do things differently, doing less but better. So overworking isn't just about working more or harder. It's about a lack of boundaries, unclear systems, and not truly stepping into your role of visionary leader. But you can. I want to share with you that you don't have to be involved in absolutely everything in your business to be successful. It's quite the opposite. The way you've been running your business now is not what will get it to the next big level. Perhaps the team you have now is not the one that will take you to the next level. The systems you have now are not the ones that will take you to the next level. You actually have to work less to grow your business to the next level. In fact, the less you do in your business, the more you create real sustainable success. So for today, choose just one area. Maybe it's team, client boundaries, or personal time, and make a commitment today to set a new boundary or system that will give you freedom. You see, my sister, your business is meant to support you, not consume you. The more you let go of control, the more you step into your true power as a leader. You can do it. I'm here for you. Lots of love.